Ago when my son was in first grade, he came home and showed an interest in being part of the Cub Scout program here in Medina County. I had not really been a scouter myself. Most of my time had been being out in the woods with my dad, hunting or fishing or camping locally, but never really any structured organization like the Boy Scouts. So I did go to the meeting with them to learn a little bit, and at the end of the meeting, I became a den leader, which I had no idea what I was going to do with first graders as tigers and how to run a den. But I quickly learned, and through the years, I went from tiger to wolves to bears to webelos and helped my son and several scouts move into the Boy Scout program. Well, being part of the local pack here and being a person that enjoys the outdoors, I started helping the pack committee put together outdoor activities. And luckily here in Medina County, the Boy Scouts are very active, and we had day camps and Cub Adventure camps. So I was always the person that ended up organizing the camps and helping, making sure that the parents and the chaperones and the kids got to camp safely and had a good time. Well, as my son moved into Boy Scouts, I enjoyed the Cub Scout program and was asked to participate as a archery or BB adult leader for the program at day camp. And so during the last 4 or 5 years at that time, I was running the archery range for the Cub Scouts for the Chippewa district. After my son moved out of Boy Scouts, I then started getting more involved in actually active part in the day camp program, and I'm now the day camp director for this area. And we have roughly about 200 to 300 adults and campers and chaperones and young ladies that come out and enjoy the camp. And I really enjoy that aspect of the Cub Scout program. I enjoyed being a scoutmaster, enjoyed being part of a venturing crew, but the youth is really where I enjoy spending my time, teaching them about outdoor skills, building fires, shooting archery or BB guns, swimming, and the various activities we put together. I get the most benefit out of working with the young scouts. The neat thing about the archery program is we get a 3-day day camp. So we get them for about an hour during their day at camp, and we need to teach them the basic safety rules, where to point the bow and arrow, how to stand, and how to release an arrow so it hits a hay bale, which is maybe 10 yards away. So day one is the most challenging. It's very step by step and rule structured. A lot of misses, a lot of frustrated kids. But as we get into day two, they start learning the skills a little bit better. And by day 3, it's amazing how well these scouts learn to draw an arrow, release it, and hit a target. And when they get bullseye, it's just amazing how excited they get. Or even just to hit the paper, they're excited. So I really enjoyed that time on the archery range, really seeing them develop as young archmen. Yeah, the Boy Scout program does purchase high quality equipment. And that's a great thing about the program, is that they always make sure that we have the best equipment we can through the donations that we get to help run those programs. They're small, bare compound bows. They have about a 4-pound draw, but they're good enough for a first grader to use, to learn, all the way up into, the webelos can use. So it's a very dynamic bow, gives good flexibility to work with the various groups that we do have to deal with when we're out at camp. A recurved bow is a very quick release. So when we pull the bow, it's going to be a pull and a release, and the draw and the weight of the bow is going to be consistent. If it's 4 pounds, it's 5 pounds. It's going to be a consistent draw. When we go to a compound bow, there is a release or a let off. So there's going to be a hard pull, and then the last quarter inch or so we release, or the bow releases the amount of pounds on the bowstring, so it allows the scout to hold the bowstring longer and gives them a better chance to aim properly at the target and release better, which gives a better successful shot. The great thing about the scouting program that we have in our local area is that aquatics is very high, which is great because it teaches a lot of youth how to swim, and we have very skilled levels and certified lifeguards that help them in the program, but it's mostly there for their protection. But it does give them a chance as they grow into Boy Scouts to learn more about various merit badges as well as belt loops that they can earn at the Cub Scout level. Shooting Sparks is another great program because we do have a BB and an archery program, and that's one of the more popular programs either at the Cub Scout, Boy Scout, or the venturing level. In regards to the scouting program and what we offer here, most of it's through the camping equipment. So the camp stoves, tents, sleeping bags, be it a summertime program. If you're going out to summer camp for the Boy Scouts, you need a lighter sleeping bag. If you're going out to spend time at a Klondike in January, we have the hand warmers and the heavier sleeping bags and those types of equipment they're going to need, as well as the camp stoves and food that you may need for a camp out. Well, the product that we offer here is diverse and very dynamic. It gives those families that are interested in first-time experiences of camping a reasonable cost equipment that gives them that first-time experience. If it's sleeping in your backyard or going over to Findlay State Park or going down to Salt Fork and for what I would call clamping or almost primitive camping. But if you're getting into the more advanced where you want to go backpacking and you're going out on a loop trail for 2 or 3 days, we have backpacks here that we can provide with you, as well as lightweight sleeping bags, lightweight cookware, and those types of equipment they're going to need for those different experiences. So if you're from a primitive weekend camper to a more advanced backpacker, we can cover that scope of your needs. We have 2 websites. One is everythingoutdoorcamping.com, and that again caters to the majority of the campers, the weekend campers. If you're into backpacking, you're looking for supplies that you may need to repair equipment. It's a very diverse website in regards to the offering that we have. Those items can be ordered on the website and then drop shipped to your home directly. We don't need to take them here into the store. We also have Everything Outdoor Tactical, which is on the shooting side, which provides a little bit of crossover on the camping environment, but also provides the shooters with those types of items that they might be interested for a weekend hunt trip, or if they're shooting at their local club, we have supplies on there. Being local, we do have the websites, but we are here in Medina, so it's easy to come in and talk to us because we do have 2 kiosks here, so we can talk to you about what's on the website, is the product proper for what you're trying to do with it, and then we can work and make recommendations on how to maybe make a better choice, or is that the right choice for you. On our tactical side, or Everything Outdoor Tactical, became a NRA certified instructor when I was working with the Boy Scouts, and it was primary to help the Boy Scouts in improving their shooting skills and taking my troop. I soon realized that I can take that to others outside of that program and help them in regards to their personal protection, concealed carry, as well as just shotgun and rifle programs that we offer, which then allowed me to expand into the tactical side and finding a resource or a vendor that would allow me to provide tools and offerings to help those folks out. And one of the things that we do here at this location is we do training here on weekends and sometimes in the evenings in regards to gun safety, so we can teach it to youth as well to women or men that may be interested in it. We also take up to other levels where we can do personal protection, situational awareness training for realtors or ladies that may be out, or young ladies that may be out just in the local area, giving them the tools and the resources to become more aware of what's happening around them as they move about their day-to-day businesses. One of the other tools that we brought into the retail space here is a training center, is our virtual range site. And site stands for safe, interactive, tactical, and entertaining. One of the things that we found through just our standard training programs is there was a lot of anxiety by most shooters or first-time shooters, especially ladies, that they really didn't understand how the firearm operated. So by using the software, our virtual range site, it allows those ladies or first-time shooters to alleviate the anxiety, and we can really work on them about getting good sight picture, sight alignment, and trigger squeeze without a bang and recoil. And what we've found as we work with them in our concealed carry classes, that the hour that we spend here in class using the simulator, and when we then go to the live fire, the anxiety and the ease and the comfort of how a firearm operates becomes so much easier, and we can then really practice on putting rounds downrange on target to help them be more successful. So part of our virtual range site is what we call a dry fire practice. Dry fire is basically what it sounds like, is you're using a simulated pistol that has a laser in it, shooting at automated targets that are thrown up on the screen. But the dry fire, there is no recoil to the firearm as you would have in live fire. So it allows you to concentrate more on building better skills with the sight and line alignment, as well as the trigger squeeze. So that surprise from the trigger squeeze that you get, you don't have to worry about that here in this environment. And it is not a live fire range. We are truly a simulation, so we do not allow firearms during the use of the simulator. But we do believe it's a good tool to help as a first step in regards to understanding how that firearm works. If you're new to the firearms, and we've had many folks, especially husbands, that say, I own a firearm, but my wife or my young child is in the house, how can I help them understand what this is and how to handle it if they needed to? The great thing about our simulation is that it does give it a safe environment. We don't bring in the live fire. If you go to live fire range, and there is a reason to go to live fire, but it does allow them to practice without eye and ear protection, so it is a more comfortable environment to learn in than going to a live fire range for the first time and trying to figure out how that firearm works, and then all the loud noises that come along with it. So it is a very good tool in regards to first-time shooters, as well as a good tool for more experienced shooters, because it does give you that ability to work on your sight alignment, trigger squeeze, and more accurate shots. So what we're doing is we're setting up the virtual range site. We have a projector and a camera just above the projector, which captures the shots from the laser pistol that then makes marks on the screen. So you'll see red hits from the laser onto the screen. And this is one of our simulated pistols. It is a M&P style, and we can actually remove the magazine, which allows us to work on tactical style shooting, as well as we can actually use holsters, and we can work on drawing from the holster. A lot of classes don't teach people how to draw from the holster, and that's one of our objectives, is to make sure that people understand how to properly operate from that holster. And this is one of our very first scenarios that we can run. These are more types of drills and skill building scenarios. And one of the programs that we have is I will go and do a can toss. So I'm going to set this up. Okay. So nice thing about the software that we have, we can actually use the firearm as our mouse, and we can start our can toss.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And the nice thing, at the end of our stage, we can see how many points we had, how many hits, and I didn't do well this morning. I had 3 misses. But that's one of our scenarios that we can use. This is a great way to get new shooters in here to get them a little more comfortable with what we're doing before we start getting into true skill building.
Are you ready? Stand by. Green, octagon. Yellow, square. Red, triangle. Blue, square. Blue, circle.
And actually on this one I hit a blue octagon, but it told us which one we had. These are more fun, enjoyable games to more or less work on skills, but we actually have an ability to program this software with our own custom scenarios. So if we bring in competitive shooters or a group that I shoot with on Monday, I can make scenarios that are more true of what they experience on the range. And this is one of the scenarios that we built. It's called barrels. So we actually have blue barrels and targets that look like paper targets, and this is a timed event. And we actually have instructions that come up. So at the buzzer, engage each target with 2 rounds each. And so it gives us instructions on what we're supposed to do in this scenario. We shoot the screen again, and it gives a 5-second delay. Of course, that's pretty close to a real scenario that we might have out on a weekend shoot with competitive shooters. So it's reality based. So it's just not fun and games and graphics. We can actually make true scenarios of what people would actually go through. So one thing that everybody always likes to do is a zombie shoot. So in here we've built scenarios, and we have ones that are provided by the software provider, but this is one of our zombie shoots, and it's really quite entertaining, as well as it's really what the kids like to shoot most of the time. That's our zombie shoot. When looking to bring product into the retail space, is looking at some of the things that I enjoy to do. Took experience from other campers, so it's always nice to have some camping games when you go camping. These are more unique games, a little more challenging activities, but they're fun and enjoyable than just a deck of cards. As we talked about earlier, we have our pepper spray and stun guns. And one of the more important items to have, if you do have a firearm in your home, you have a responsibility to make sure that whoever is in your home doesn't have access to it if you don't want them to have access. So again, a good safe is one of the more important tools that you could have in your home with a firearm. One of the more fun activities in regards to just summertime or wintertime is the campfire colors. And these are great for ceremonial, just sitting around the campfire to different colors and experiences just to make it a little more enjoyable at night. And they are environmentally friendly. The pull start is a great fire starter. We have had very wet springs and it's often hard to start a fire, and these pull starts will burn almost any wood regardless how wet it is. Of course, we're ending up here on our winter season, so we do have hand warmers and toe warmers for those that are out in tree stands or camping in the winter, or if you're skiing or hiking or some of those other activities. We do have shooting bags that we carry, as well as cleaning kits, as well as the tactical socks, which are always a great item. More popular around Christmas time, but we do carry tactical socks. If you're more on a backpacker or even a weekend and you're away from a stove, we have Mountain House Foods. So we do have the Pro Packs, which are more favorable for those that are backpacking because they are vacuum sealed and air is taken out, so they are a lot more compact than the traditional Mountain House. And of course, we had headlamps for any user or any camper or hunter. Some of the various tools, as we talked about earlier, a sharp knife. So Lansky is a great tool to use for sharpening, and it's great because we can use it for the home or camper, pocket knives, and it'll allow you to set a specific angle based on the type of knife that you have. Low end ostrich tents. They're great tents and very affordable for a 4 and 2 person tent, and they're good 3 seasons. Of course, if you're out hiking or any outdoor activity, it's good to be hydrated. So we have a wide variety of large to small hydration bottles, from Nalgene and sporks and cookware and camping stoves. And then as we get over into the small area, we have our backpacks, small camping stoves, as well as our sleeping bags. And these are some of the knives and other items that we have in regards to our offering for the camper and the shooter. Some of the novelty items that we have down there is we have shotgun shell lighters and small round or ammo that is also a lighter. So it's more of a novelty item than anything else. But they will work, and they're great tools. Of course, we have our hiking poles, which are always good if you're just out at one of the state parks or doing local hiking. We do carry walking sticks, and they're a great access or helpful tool as you go out. We have our Big Daddy skillet. It's one of those unique items that everybody really needs to have in their stack of stuff. And if you have a big family outing, we definitely can cook it in here for them. It's not your backpacking skillet, that's for sure. Our website is www.everythingoutdoorcamping for camping and your weekend supplies. We have www.everythingoutdoortactical if you're a shooter or hunter. And if you're looking for training in regards to personal protection, first aid, or other types of programs of that nature, you can go to the virtualrangesite.com and learn more about those programs. We have here in the store a good selection of items for you to look at in regards to the different commodities and product lines. So it's a good start to get an understanding of what you may need, but ultimately we may direct you to our website to get you really the right product that you need for your weekend camping adventure or your weekend hunting adventure.
Hi, I'm Dennis Hanwell, the mayor for the city of Medina. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Making It in Medina. Making it in Medina is important to me as the mayor, to my administration, and to our city council. a strong industrial base, employing a great number of people, our great commercial and historic downtown, as well as the eateries and the businesses that draw in people from all around the region, helps keep the taxes lower for our residents. But making it in Medina is really broader than that. It's also about the importance of making the city appealing and safe and a great place for families, for senior citizens, for young children. And we do that with a great school system. We do that with great health care. We do it with collaboration between different agencies and working together to make Medina the best place it can be. And making it in Medina is something that we strive for day in and day out, and we hope you will join us for future episodes and examples of making it in Medina.